Imitation of Life. It's one of those movies you just have to be in the mood to listen to. Hi, this is Liz, and this is the movie chat. Imitation of Life with Lana Turner, Juanita Moore, Sandra Dee, Susan Connor, all of these things. Everybody knows all about it. This is the one from 1959. There was an earlier one with Claudette Colbert and Louise Beavers. But I'm so glad. This is one of those movies that I'm so glad that they remade, because Louise Beavers is treated like dirt by her so-called best friend in that other film. So this one is like, okay, they kind of swing the pendulum in the exact opposite direction, though, in a little ways, because they have Juanita Moore acting so saintly, and it's like, okay, relax. I mean, we're human. These characters are human. But yeah, it's a movie that's about two families, actually, but you forget that there are two families, and you just only concentrate on Juanita Moore's character and Susan Connor. They play Annie and Sarah Jane, a mother and daughter, who are... The daughter can pass as white, and so she does, because this is 1950s, and you can get beat up if people know that you're not white. So she just pretends her mother doesn't exist, and it's this whole thing, and it's horrible. And because it's involving racism and prejudice and misogyny and all of that, most people remember that part of the movie, but there is this other part, kind of like a diptych, where Lana Turner is the mother to Sandra Dee. And because Lana Turner's character, I've forgotten even her name. I've totally forgotten her name. Okay, I had looked it up. Lana Turner's character is Laura, and her daughter is Susie. So Laura's arc is that she wants to be an actress, but she's a single mom and has a daughter to raise, and she's nowhere near the entertainment world, but she climbs her way through, becomes a Broadway actress, and starts getting films and all of this. She's basically winning in her career, but that also means that her personal life is sliding down the drain. Her daughter feels neglected, and that becomes like a big thing, but it kind of isn't, but it kind of is. I always thought that the two mothers should be swapped. Not swapped, but I always thought that the daughter seemed to get along with the other person's mother a little bit better, or seemed to think of the other person as a role model, meaning you always, don't really appreciate what you have. But anyway, Susie talks more to Annie, because Annie's always around, than she does to her own mother about everything, And then Sarah Jane does not appreciate her mother, Annie, but you notice that she goes into entertainment. It's seedy, but it's still entertainment. And Laura, the mother that she really kind of admires more, because she's a woman who works outside of the house, and it seems like Sarah Jane wants to work outside of the house, whereas her mother is far more domestic. So if Sarah Jane had just calmed down and, asked questions about the entertainment industry of Laura, I think she could have had a good career in entertainment somewhere. Maybe. Well, this is the 50s. Maybe she wouldn't have, just because of the prejudice against people who are people of color and against women. I don't know. Maybe not. But she could have at least gotten some advice about how to go about her career in entertainment, because apparently she really, really wants one. But she was too busy arguing with both of the mothers in the house. And you're like, Sarah Jane, relax. It's easy for me to say, because I'm speaking from a place of privilege, but you're just like, Sarah Jane, you got on my last nerves. I'm sorry. But anyway, you have to be in the mood to watch this movie, because, at least I do, because it'll make you cry. It'll just make you cry, because you just don't want anybody to be sad. You want everybody to be happy, because these are all nice people. And when Annie basically died, you're just like, okay, yeah, that happened. And she seems to have died of a broken heart, because her daughter kept pretending she didn't exist so that she could go on in this world, unencumbered by her mother. And it's just a whole thing. But then once she dies and has this big, beautiful funeral that she's been saving up for, with a glass carriage to carry her coffin, and then you see Sarah Jane running through the streets. Oh, that's my mother. Yeah, too late, honey. Too late. Sorry. Bye. Well, I'm sorry. See, I'm so mean. That's her mother. It is her mother, but she's been denying her while she was alive. So now that she's dead, oh, now you want to recognize her. Yeah, it's too little, too late, honey. Too little, too late. Sarah Jane gets on my last nerve, but that's what she's supposed to do. That's what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to be this rebellious teenager right in the 50s, in the thick of the 50s, when, movies were trying to talk about teen rebellion. Well, this was another version of that type of film, which I find interesting. Even Susie, who's, kind of on the sidelines, because the big drama is happening with Annie and Sarah Jane, and then before Sarah Jane grows up to be a teenager, the big drama is on Laura trying to make her career. So little Susie is just sort of there. And so, both just in the way that the film is made, but also in terms of just feeling a bit neglected sometimes. So Annie's the only person she doesn't believe neglects her, but she still wants more. And so she does her own version of rebellion by dating Steve, and Steve is like way too old, like old enough to be her dad, and he's like, okay, you need to slow down here, little kid. The guy who's like interested in her mom, and so she's gonna try to get him. It's a weird. It's like they tried to figure out something for Susie to do because she really doesn't have anything to do. And at the end, she's like, "Oh, I'll get over Steve, but Mom, you need to be around me or whatever. You gave me everything but yourself." And they have this big mother-daughter thing at the end. I'm thinking, oh my God, if she can get over Steve that quick, why in the world did they have her even bother this guy? He's just trying not to be, a skeezy guy going out with the daughter of his love interest. So, like, it was just really disgusting. But he understood what was going on. Okay, this teenager is crushing, and she needs to slow down here, because this ain't happening. So I appreciated that he's, like, trying to set her straight. Look, it ain't happening. I'm in love with your mom. But they didn't really give Susie anything to do. Anyway, you have to be in a mood to really watch this film, which is why I haven't watched it in years. But I love all the outfits that Laura has, even though she gets on my nerves too. But at the beginning, when she has to deal with all of those skeevy men, oh my God, in the industry, the casting couch thing, where she's like, "Oh, you're disgusting. That's disgusting. You're disgusting." I'm like, yes, say it. I'll make it, Mr. Loomis, but it'll be my way. Yes, say it, love it. Yeah, so that's a movie that, bring your handkerchiefs. It's a 3-hanky story. Bring your handkerchiefs, bring your box of tissues, whatever, because you will be at least misty by the end of that show. But yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time. I'm not about to watch it. You have to be ready to be sad. Oh my God. When Mahalia Jackson just shows up at the funeral and starts singing, "Soon I Will Be Done." Oh my God. Just like, yeah, kill me now. That song will just have you crying and dead. Just basically... yeah, I was happy and now I'm sad. Thanks a lot. It's really, yeah, so I can't watch this movie. I love it. I think it's a great movie, but I also cannot watch it most of the time. Bye.